Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jonah, your spiritual guide. Today, I'm going to teach us on how to prepare ourselves in times of spiritual warfare. But before I proceed, I would love to read the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 12. It says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in the higher places. Wherefore, take unto the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand." Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. Life is spiritual. The spiritual control the physical. We are living in a dangerous generation, in a dangerous time, whereby it doesn't matter the religion you belong, it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter the title you have, it doesn't matter the property you possess, you acquire, it doesn't matter the money you have. Everyone is a target. Everyone is a target. You cannot have a healthy life in this wicked generation without having the knowledge of spiritual warfare. You cannot excel in this dark generation without having the knowledge on how to go spiritual. We must have what it is called spiritual awakening, because there is no way you as a man will have a happy family without understanding that there are principalities and powers that are gatekeepers that decide which marriage to be happy or not. There are forces around you. You are surrounded by forces, and those dark forces are out there to stop you from having a happy home, a happy family. There is nothing that happened here on earth coincidentally. Everything happened by spiritual manifestation. It has to take place first in the spiritual realms before it can be able to manifest in the physical realm. And that is why the Bible says that the spiritual control the physical. Life is spiritual. You cannot succeed as a man where you do not understand how the spiritual system operates. Enough is enough. We all have to wake up to understand that life is controlled by spirits. And that is why the Bible says in the book of Luke chapter 10 verse 19, he said, "I have given you the authority to trample upon snakes and scorpions, and to also overcome all the powers of the enemies, and nothing but the enemy shall hurt you." We must have the knowledge of spiritual warfare. You must have the knowledge on how to go spiritual, not physical. Any man or woman that is going for contracts, any man or woman that is going for business, you should be able to have it at the back of your mind that you are not that only person that is going into that business physically. You are not the only person that is going for that contract physically. There are a lot of people that are going for the same contract that you are going, and some of them are going for that contract that you are going spiritual. Yes. And that is why sometimes when you are looking for a contract and the contract is fast approaching and all of a sudden it go away. Remember, a lot of people are targeting the same that contract you are targeting. And those people that are also targeting that the same contract are going spiritual to have that contract, to take it away from you. And that is why we have to wake up. There is no time to check time. Your mission here on earth, your purpose here on earth must be fulfilled, must be successful. And that is why when you are no spiritual sound, forget about it. There is no way you can see the light of the day because life is spiritual. It has come to a point whereby we must understand that God has given us all the powers to operate successfully here on earth. God has given us the power to operate here on earth. And that is why he said in the book of Hosea, he said that my people are perishing because of lack of knowledge. And because he rejected knowledge, I, the Lord, will also reject you to minister before my presence. What kind of knowledge was God talking about? God was not talking about the Western education. God was not talking about on how to read and write knowledge. God is not a human. God is a spirit. God was talking about the spiritual knowledge. He was talking about the spiritual knowledge that my people are perishing because of lack of knowledge. When you are lack of the spiritual knowledge, you will suffer in the midst of plenty. God was talking about the spiritual knowledge because God is a spirit. There is no way you can administer to God in the physical. God is a spirit. And if there's anyone that will worship God, he or she must worship God in truth and in spirit. And that is why we must acquire the spiritual knowledge, the application of the spiritual knowledge. God has given us all the herbs, all the trees, all the fruits, all the roots for us to use it to counter the enemy, to unseat the enemy, to bring down the witch's coven into destruction. But because we are lack of that spiritual knowledge, we are suffering in the midst of plenty. And that is what the Bible says, that why are the mighty falling and the weapons of warfare are perishing? We must come into understanding on how things operate in the spiritual realms. The trees, the leaves, the herbs, the roots were given to us by God to use them to fulfill our destiny here on earth. Everything that is here on earth was created by God, was given to us by God to use them to fulfill destiny, to fulfill mission here on earth. And that is why a lot of people are perishing. And that is why a lot of people are dying because of lack of the spiritual knowledge. God was talking about the spiritual knowledge. God was talking about what kind of application are you going to administer to have your result? What kind of knowledge are you going to apply, spiritual knowledge to apply to have your results, to have your healing, to have your breakthrough, to have your deliverance, to break curses? God was talking about the spiritual knowledge. Are you with me? The time is now. There is no time anymore. We all have to wake up to save those who are dying, to save those who are suffering, to liberate people from the clutches of witches and wizards. Are you with me? And the Lord God Almighty is going to help us. Are you with me? If you're in need of prayers or consultation, you can contact me on plus 234 80 62 40 8467. and I'll be very happy to respond to you. And remember, bless.